Hey everyone, my name is Jordan Spencer. Today I'm going to read to you a poem called Paul Bunyan. It's by Shel Silverstein and it is actually a part of Shel Silverstein's book called Where the Sidewalk Ends, which has many poems for children in there. This particular poem I would recommend for 5th grade level because it does have some mature content such as drinking kerosene and talking about heaven and hell. And also, fifth graders usually have understanding of different folklore characters such as Paul Bunyan, so they may have heard of Paul Bunyan before, which would be great to compare this poem to the stories they've heard previously. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you now. Paul Bunyan. He rode through the woods on a big blue ox. He had fists as hard as chopping blocks. 500 pounds and 9 feet tall. That's Paul. Talk about working when he'd swing that axe. You could hear it ring for a mile and a half. Then he'd yell, "Timber!" and down she'd fall. Poor Paul. Talk about drinking, that man so mean that he never drink nothing but kerosene, and a 5-gallon can is a little bit small for Paul. Talk about tough. Well, he'd once had a fight with a thunderstorm on a cold dark night. I ain't saying who won, but it don't storm at all round here, thanks to Paul. He was 90 years old when he said with a sigh, "I think I'm gonna lay right here and die, 'cause sunshine and sorrow, I've seen it all," says Paul. He'd say, "There ain't no man alive can kill me, ain't no woman round can thrill me, and I think heaven just might be a ball," says Paul. So he died, and we cried. It took 18 men just to bust the ground. It took 24 more just to lower him down. And we covered him up and we figured that's all for Paul. But late one night, the trees started shaking, the dogs started howling, and the earth started quaking. And out of the ground with a "Hi, y'all!" comes Paul. He shook the dirt off of his clothes. He scratched his butt and wiped his nose. "You know, being dead wasn't no fun at all," said Paul. He says, "Up in heaven they got harps on their knees. They got clouds and wings, but they got no trees. I don't think it's much of a heaven at all," says Paul. So he jumps on his ox with a "Fare thee well." He says, "I'll find out if there's trees in hell." And he rode away, and that was all we ever seen of Paul. But the next time you hear a "timber" yell, that sounds like it's coming from the pits of hell. Then a weird, devilish, ghostly wail, like somebody's chopping on the devil's tail. Then a shout, a call, a crash, a fall. That ain't no mortal man at all. That's Paul. Thanks for watching, everyone.